What's up, survivors? My name is Cap and welcome back to the channel. Got another 7 days to die tutorial for you, and today I want to show you guys how to make and use the forge. This is all done in alpha 14.6, so if something changes down the road and they've changed it up again, just know that it may not work the same anymore. The last time I did a tutorial using the forge was several versions ago, and they've completely changed the entire system around, so I wanted to do a more updated version to teach you guys what all has actually changed with it. Okay, for starters, in order to be able to craft it, you're going to have 50 stones, 50 lumps of clay, a bellows, and a short iron pipe. Now, the small stones are, of course, just like everything else, you can just find these laying around the ground. The lumps of clay, you can find these laying around the world. They show up around roads, they show up around rivers. They're just a different color, a little bit darker color than the normal sized dirt, as you can see right here. Short iron pipes, you can find these laying around and in trash. They kind of show up anywhere you're doing basic looting there. But if you can't find one and you happen to have a stone axe, or you've managed to be able to find a steel axe, what you can do is you can destroy a toilet inside any of the houses, or the air conditioning units on top of buildings or outside of houses, and those can give you steel pipes too. Now, the bellows are the hardest thing out of this entire setup here to make, and that's just because it requires animal hide. In order to be able to get animal hide, you have to hunt and kill some animals. It can be deer, it can be zombie dogs, it can be bears. Chances are the best option you have for finding animal hide is going to be killing some deer. Hunting these guys down can take a little while. If you've got a bow and arrow, you're going to have to get a couple good shots on it. Wait until they're standing still, whatever, and try and aim, right towards the shoulders. And it will actually make them bleed out. And you may have to chase them down before they'll actually die. And if you didn't get a good shot, then they're just going to keep on running for a little bit. And you just got to keep on following until they stop again. And then you can try and shoot them one more time. Alright, now you have killed that precious buck that you so desire to have. Now, there's something you have to keep in mind here that they changed with Alpha 13. In order to be able to harvest a lot of animal hide from them, what you have to have is a bone shiv, a hunting knife, one of those two. You can't do it just by beating the crap out of them with a stone axe anymore. What you can do is, if you can find a large bone, which sometimes you find them in the trash, or if you kill a zombie dog, all you have to do is just click on a large bone, recipes, make a bone shiv. Doesn't take very long to make them, and now you have a nice sharpened bone shiv. And when you use this to actually chop away at the deer, you can see on the bottom right hand corner you're actually getting animal hide as you go here. But of course, while you're doing this, you also keep in mind stuff that you get raw meat, and that's going to make you stinky, and that will attract zombies, so you have to keep in mind while you're doing that. And then once you've gotten all the animal hide that you need and the other supplies here, you can go ahead and make the bellows. And then once you have the bellows, you can go ahead and make your forge. Once you start crafting this, it'll take it about 50 seconds. And that's about it. And then you just find a place to put it. Now, one piece of advice here is when you use the forge, it generates a lot of area heat. And I don't mean how hot it is when you're standing next to it. It will raise your character's temperature in the game, but I'm talking about the area heat. The more heat in a general area, the more it attracts zombies here. So what I typically like to do is to build a little hut on about 50 yards out away from the back of my house and put the forge in there by itself. That way I can run all day long. If it attracts zombies to that area, I just won't go there for a little bit. So keep that in mind. Okay, once you're inside the forge, you can see that it looks way different than it used to, like in the previous tutorial here. And it can be kind of confusing when you first open it up and you see all this around here. For starters, up at the top right hand corner, you're going to see these three different tools here. It's an anvil, calipers, and the tool and die set. Now, of the three of these, the calipers and the tool and die set you have to find. You cannot craft these, but the anvil can be crafted from within the forge. So hopefully you'll get lucky and actually find one, because if you have to craft one, you'll see that it takes 200 pieces of scrap iron, this right here, that you can get from breaking down cans and weapons and tools, pieces of metal fencing, metal on buildings. You can get scrap iron from breaking down anything metal, basically, but it still takes a while. And then clay again. Now, each of these tools, as you add them to the forge, will unlock additional recipes that you'll see showing up over here. Okay, once you're ready to start using your forge, what you have to do is you have to add a fuel here. Chances are the most common piece of fuel you're going to use is basic wood, because you can find it so much here. So just stick some of it in there, and you'll see you have the timer of how long that much wood will burn for. It'll give you about 35 minutes worth here. And then you can turn it on and you can turn it off manually. And while it's on, what you can do is you can start taking some of your material and put them over here in the smelting thing. You got iron, brass, lead, glass, stone, and clay. And as you put these things in there, you'll see that it starts adding these, taking them from here and putting them into the actual forge itself. See, it'll take a little while to go through there, and you can put 2 things in there at a time. And as this starts adding these 2 there, and it starts getting more and more into the actual forge, you'll see more and more recipes opening up here. So all of the stuff that you have here, brass, lead, glass, stone, these kind of things, you can add to the forge, and it'll store them over here in this little area here. Now, once they're in here, you can't take them out. But this is how you start smelting here. Once you have these things open up, then all you have to do is click over here on the recipe on the left of what you want. Something like forged iron. It's going to take 10 iron and 5 clay, and you can see this kind of adding up how much I totally have here, and this will allow me to make forged iron. You can go through and select however much you want to based on the materials in there, and it shows you how much time it's going to take them. So this is how you will go through and get stuff like forged iron, which you'll use for making a lot of your tools, a lot of your weapons. But as you can see, there's tons of stuff in here. You can make regular iron if you have it. You can make iron arrows. There's tons of stuff in here. And like I said, as you're going through this, you can use the scroll wheel to scroll through and see all of this stuff here that you can possibly open up by adding more material and stuff over here. I do recommend when you're not using the forge, if it's not currently putting stuff into the smelting section, to turn it off. You can drag this stuff over here and it'll stop adding it, but it'll leave what you have there, even when it's turned off. So you do have that option of at least having the stuff in here. It stores it into the forge. So anyway, that's basically about it. You will use the forge a whole lot early on in the game, making tools and making weapons. That forged iron that you can get there is one of the more important things you'll get. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. Be sure to subscribe for some more videos, and just know that I truly appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys have a good one, and I will catch you later.